All right, let's get started with our Pilates practice today. You will have the option of using any of the following props. They are great to have, and you can find them on my Amazon storefront. A Pilates ball, 2 or 3 pound weights, 2 of them, and a band. So all 3 of those things are optional. We will be using them in this video. If you don't have them at home, use whatever you have and use your imagination. Today's practice is going to be a classical mat Pilates practice that you can build upon over time and improve your strength, your posture, and your core and pelvic floor. It is a full body workout. So in order to prepare yourself for this practice, just make sure that you have your mat laid out and a water bottle nearby. Do the best that you can. Listen to your body and learn to trust it as much as possible. You know your body best and everything that has gone through. I will offer a certain amount of modifications, but wherever there may not be, get creative. So let's start this practice lying down. We're going to grab a ball. Again, this is optional. The ball is just going to be in between the inner thighs, and we're going to lie down to our backs. So coming right into the middle of the mat, small of your back, rib cage, and shoulders are glued down. Your fingertips are going to graze your heels here. We're going to keep some tension on the ball. You can also use a yoga block if you have one, or even a pillow, and take the hands behind the head. We're going to start off here pressing the small of the back into the mat so the core is engaged. It's like we're zipping up tight pants. And we're going to take a full breath in and a full breath out. And we're going to come up to 14 mini crunches. Let's go for 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, keeping your shoulders off your mat, your chin is off your chest. We're going to bring the hands out by our sides. We're going to tap the outside of our feet, still pressing the small of our backs into the mat for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling down. We're going to bring the legs all the way up to the sky, maybe adjusting that ball or block if you're using one, bringing the arms up, getting the shoulders off the mat, bobbing up and down towards our toes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now holding here, you're going to pulse the legs in towards your midline, adduct for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Slowly bringing those legs halfway and roll yourself all the way up. Beautiful. We're going to extend the legs. You can place your ball aside. I tend to put it somewhere where it's not going to roll away. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold, draping the belly over the thighs for 8. Full range of motion in the arms for 7, 6, halfway, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Reaching for your feet. Take a full inhale and lengthen your spine, lifting your chest, shoulders back. Exhale, melting your belly down towards the thighs. Fully reaching here as much as you can, finding that extension in the spine, and then slowly rolling yourself back up. Let's activate the wrists. We're going to take the hands together, interlacing the fingers, pressing them out at heart center, and then bring them up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your left hand in front of you, pulling each finger towards your face. So we're activating our wrists, then all the fingers at once, and then give it a little shake out. Right hand, same thing, pulling each finger towards your face. All the fingers. And then shake a shake. We're going to take the hands behind us, slight bend in your fingers. You're suctioning the palm to the mat to protect the wrists. Slight engagement of the shoulders, bending the elbows slightly as well, zipping the legs together, pointing those toes to keep the legs active, pressing yourself up to a reverse plank. Now, you're going to keep your chin off your chest, looking up slightly, bending those elbows, bring it down into a tricep dip with the glutes down to the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7. An alternate version of this is a push-up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Taking that ball, placing it in between your thighs, bringing those feet in. We're going to come down to a second round, slowly lowering back down to the mat. Let's take the hands behind the head, engaging the core. Take a breath to prepare. And let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come up. Tap the outside of your foot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling down. Let's bring those legs up. Arms come up with the shoulders off the mat, bobbing up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse in towards the midline for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll yourself up. Beautiful. Extending those legs, remove the ball. We're going to decrease the repetitions here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, this time for 6. 5, lengthening the spine, draping the belly over the thighs for 4. Last 3, full range of motion in those arms, warming up those shoulders for 2. And last 1, landing here, full inhale. Exhale, bringing yourself back up, hands behind you. Once again, slight bend in those fingers to protect the wrists, slight bend in the elbows. Zipping those legs together, let's bring it up, reverse plank, and tricep dip lower down for 10. Use your breath. 9, 8, 7, suctioning that palm to the mat, keep it going halfway. 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to take ourselves into a nice seated position, bringing the arms all the way up with an inhale. With your exhale, bringing your right arm down. Now, you can use your ball here. I'm going to first show you without the ball. So reaching that left arm up and overhead, keep your shoulder relaxed away from your ear, elbow away, looking towards it to keep the chest open, and then bring it in and reach. So I'm going to use my ball here to roll out, but that's what it looks like without it. So taking a second to prepare, we're going to open up that side body, working on the obliques. Extend and bring it in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, full reach, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Now, whether you have a ball or not, you're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full inhale. With your exhale, taking your hand down, lengthening your spine, full inhale. Exhale, soften, decompressing the spine, relaxing the belly and the rib cage. And then if you have a ball, whether you have it or not, we're going to walk the hands forward, rolling forward, and then bringing it over to the left side. I'm just going to move these out of the way. And then bringing that right arm up, take a full inhale. Exhale, roll it in for 10 and extend. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, last one, and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full inhale. Exhale, landing your hand down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, folding, relaxing that shoulder down away from the ear. And then slowly bringing yourself back up. All right. So for those of you who don't have a ball or don't have weights, I'm going to suggest that you use water bottles instead, or a block or pillow in between the thighs. We're going to grab our weights here. You're going to lean back on the ball just slightly. So we're squishing it right by the sacrum, around the tailbone, rather than on the back. This is going to be a small range of motion that we're creating here. We're going to open up the arms to the side, flying open the chest as we come into a sit-up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Now hold it here, and we're going to pulse the arms and the torso for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now twisting towards that top corner of the mat. So you're activating those transverse abdominals, not putting any pressure on the organs, on the stomach. Keep your feet glued down. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Remember that. And pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to your left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to your right for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to your left for 8, 7, 6, mind over matter, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can do it last time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Let's remove the weights. We're going to come forward now so you can move your ball aside as well if you were using any props. Crossing your ankles. Let's take a big inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, coming forward to tabletop. We're going to further activate those wrists. So again, wrists under shoulders, creases of your elbows right to the top of your mat. Slight bend in your fingers, suctioning the palms down. We're going to take an inhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Exhale, empty out the belly, lifting the crown of the head. Inhale, cat back, rounding chin to chest. Exhale to cow, empty out the belly. One more time, inhale, cat, and exhale, cow. Good, coming into our neutral tabletop. We're going to keep those toes curled under. And then pressing your palms into the mat, let's lift and hover the knees for 10 and tap. 9, 8, 7, keeping a flat back as much as possible for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Piking your hips up. So your feet are a little bit more narrow than your shoulders. This is also known as a downward facing dog. Pushing that mat away from you, relaxing those ears away from your shoulders. And we're going to take an inhale forward to plank without dropping your hips. So maybe you walk the hands out just slightly. So you're in your plank position. Full inhale. Exhale, pike for 10. Activating the core and the shoulders for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep it going. 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Beautiful. Lowering those knees down, crossing those ankles. Bring yourself back to seated position in the middle of your mat. Second round, grab your ball. We're going to decrease the reps here. Small of your ball, So grabbing your ball, placing it by your sacrum, grabbing your weights, feet are glued down. Let's come into that sit-up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to your right, and pulse for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Believe in yourself. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Lower those weights. You can grab a quick sip of water and then we'll move forward. Coming forward, second round. Now this time maybe you use your ball or your block in between your thighs. Curling your toes under, let's lift and hover for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Piking up, squeezing that ball or block if you're using it. Walk your hands out slightly so it'll be easier for you to come into your plank. Let's take an inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, pike for 10, 9, 8. Channel the strongest version of yourself for 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's come down to tabletop. You can remove your ball. Remove your ball or prop if you were using it. Now, we're going to use either your weight or your ball, up to you. We're going to be working here on the shoulders. So for those of you with your weight, I'm going to demonstrate it on one side with the weight. The other side, I'm just going to use my ball for. So we're going to bend the left elbow, reaching underneath and hovering that right ear and shoulder off the mat. Take a full inhale. Now you're keeping your core engaged here in your tabletop. Exhale, opening up to the sky. Breathe through that top hip, working on shoulder mobility. And bringing it back up. Full range of motion. Keep it going for 8. I'm right here with you for 7, 6, last 5, 4, use your breath. 3, take your time, don't rush it. Slow and steady wins a race for 2, and 1. Now reaching that hand into the sky, we're going to bring it around, air guitar, big circle for 3, 2. If you have your weight, this is going to really feel like a lot in that shoulder. Last 1, and then slowly lower it down. Beautiful. We're going to grab that ball or that weight with the left hand now. So let's reach underneath the right, bending that right elbow, and then open up for 10. And make sure that you have that full range of motion here for 9, 8, breathing through that top hip for 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it around, air guitar, big circle for 3, 2. Try to keep that arm straight. Last 1. Beautiful. Slowly lower it down. Now, We're going to find a comfortable place to sit, so cross-legged. If you have any knee issues, I always recommend placing something underneath them. We're going to grab our weights here, and I'm going to face you. So sitting up nice and tall, whether you're on your knees or not, we're going to have the palms facing up, elbows behind us, so we're engaging the shoulders slightly. Now, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears, extend, serving the platter, and bring it back in. No higher than shoulder height. Good. Using your breath for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now palms face up, palms down, and up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. And pulsate with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good job. Let's take the hands to the knees, shoulders back away from the ears a few times. Now, for those of you who are picking up a weight that is heavier than 3 pounds, I don't recommend it. In Pilates, we focus on smaller muscle groups. So it is recommended to lower your weight because we increase the repetition. So just trust the process, and I promise you're going to feel stronger in ways you have never even imagined. Now, second round, let's grab those weights. Shoulders back away from the ears, palms facing up, elbows behind you. Full inhale, exhale, extend for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, halfway, 4, mind over matter, remember, 3, 2, and 1, palms up and down and up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, here we go. Last 3, 2, and 1, and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take those hands to the knees. We're going to do a little mobility, little active reset. So bring yourself around in a circle for 3, 2, and 1. Coming around the other way for 4, 3, maybe moving your neck and head with you, 2, and 1. And whenever you hear those pop, cracks, and snapples, or whatever the saying goes, just know it's good. You're releasing that tension in the joints. So we're going to grab our weights once again. Now I'm going to come to my knees. Again, if there's any knee issues, just modify accordingly. We're going to grab a ball, a block, or a pillow. Take it in between the thighs. We're going to grab our weights here. Our feet are directly behind the knees. You're going to have your knuckles facing forward, palms facing your thighs. We're going to bring it up to shoulder height, and then lower our heels down, we're going to lower our glutes down to our heels for 10, and up. 9, avoid arching the spine. We never want to do that in Pilates. We always want to tuck that tailbone under, shifting the pelvis and hips forward so that core is engaged. For 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, almost there, 2, and 1. Now pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. Beautiful job. All right, now this time we're going to come up, bringing the arms up, flat side of your weights facing up, and bring it to your head. Bicep curl and extend for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Never underestimate those light weights. We're going to bring the hands to the knees, shoulders back away from the ears for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last set here, and then we're going to move on from our arms. So grabbing your weight, second round, decreasing the repetitions, keeping that tension on the ball. Again, feet directly behind you. Let's bring it up for 8. 7, squeezing the ball with your inner thighs rather than your glutes for 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flat side up. Again, squeezing with those thighs, not gripping with your glutes. Let's curl for 8 and extend. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Bring it down. Great job. Be proud of yourself. Take a mini break to grab a sip of water. Let's remove those props and place them aside. All right, for this next portion, we're going to be working on the lower body. So we're going to move our weights out of the way, and we're going to start off using our ball. Coming into your tabletop position, again, we want to avoid arching the spine, not like this. We're not rounding and scooping underneath either. We have that nice neutral spine, core is engaged. Take your ball, a block, or even a towel or pillow behind your knee and squeeze it there so that hamstring is engaged. Creases of your elbows face forward, again, protecting those wrists under shoulders, slight bend in your fingers, suctioning your palm to your mat, pointing those toes. We're going to get that knee off of the mat without moving your upper body, only focusing on the lower body. We're going to extend it back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Now flexing your foot, pulsing the leg up and down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing your knee in, you can leave the foot neutral and bring it out to the side into your fire hydrant. So we're keeping the weight in our hands even. We're not leaning to one side or the other, bringing that leg out to the side, no higher than shoulder height for 10, 9, 8, 7, and you should be squeezing and shaking here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lifting and lowering the leg slightly for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Circle that knee away from you for 6. Little circles. 5, 4, opening up that hip. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Let's remove that ball or that prop that you are using there and take it behind the left knee. Coming over to that left side, remember you can also do this from your forearms as well if it feels like too much on your wrist. But if you are doing it from your forearms, we're going to avoid rounding and avoid overextending, because if the leg comes too high, that rounded back is just a given. So starting off, knee off the mat, and kick it back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Flexing your foot, pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knee comes in. Fire hydrants out to the side for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep that upper body stable for 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Pulsing up and down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing it in. Circle that knee away from you. Open up the hip for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Let's remove that prop, place it aside, come into some hip waves for 4, a little active rest for 3, for 2, and for 1. Awesome job. Let's grab our band here. We're going to cross the ankles and then come to the middle of the mat. So for those of you without a band, don't you worry, you could use your ball here instead if you'd like to. You could even do both in between the thighs. So we're going to come down to our backs, almost like how we started, fingertips to the back of our heels, and we're going to press a small of the back, rib cage and shoulders into the mat. Let's take an inhale and lift up to our glute bridge. Exhale, lower down. Now, if you are squeezing a prop in between your legs, again, focus on squeezing the inner thighs, focusing on pelvic floor engagement and core engagement rather than gripping with your glutes. So this is inner thighs. We're also activating the hamstrings here as well. Let's bring it up for 10 and lower for 9, 8, and again, avoid rounding as you lower. 7, 6, 5, almost there, 4, 3, you're doing great, 2, last one, pressing up. You're going to pulse those legs away for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, lowering all the way back down. All right. Taking your hands out by your side, bring your feet out a little bit further away from you and press yourself all the way back up. Let's remove the props. We're going to come to a second round with those kickbacks and then back down to the mat to finish off our practice. So coming forward once again, no time to waste. Grab your prop behind that right knee. Core engagement. Take a breath in. Exhale, kick it back for 8, 7, 6, 5, squeeze, 4, 3, last 2, last 1, flexing your foot, pulse that leg up and down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, bringing that knee in, fire hydrants for 6, 5, keeping that weight even for 4, 3, 2, and 1, lift and lower, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, circle it away for 6, 5, breathing deeply, 4, really concentrating, 2, and 1, awesome job. That's done on that right leg. Let's bring it to the left leg now to finish off. Take a second, prepare, get that knee off the mat, and kick it back for 8. Avoiding arching, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1, flex, bring it up and down, pulse, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, in, it goes and hovers, and then fire hydrants for 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1, hover up and down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is it. Circle away for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. You're doing so well. We're almost done here. We're going to come back down to the mat. And again, decide if you're going to use your props or not. This time I'm just going to use my band. Coming back down. Take a second to prepare. Remember that slight tilt of the pelvis and hips up, so there's no space between your back and your mat. Palms face down. Inhale, come up to a glute bridge for 10 and lower. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Arms come up. Let's pulse those legs apart for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down. Let's remove the band, removing any props here. We are going to be using our weights. Again, it is optional. So we're going to stay on our backs if you don't already have it, or if you do already have it, rather. We're going to bring the feet up, knees are bent, arms come up with us. Now, make sure there is nothing to kick or hit. We're going to come into a dead bug. So we're only going to extend as far as we can without arching the spine. Again, back is always glued to the mat to protect the spine and to keep that core engaged. We're taking an inhale here, and then exhale to our dead bug. Extend and bring it back in for 14. 13, 12, working on those rectus abdominals for 11, 10, really concentrate on your breath, 9, 8, I promise if you hold your breath, it's going to be a lot harder for 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take your hands down. Drop those weights to the floor gently. We're going to keep our feet up, hands to the mat. Again, keeping that core engaged, flat back to the mat. Lifting and lowering the legs. Now, we're not bringing them all the way down because the spine is inevitably going to arch. We are focusing on that core contraction. Now, if you can get your legs lower than I do here, that's superb. If you don't worry about it. Work with your body. Let's lift and lower using your breath for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, halfway, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Let's take the hands behind the thighs, overlap your big toes, rock and roll up and down for 10. Roll up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, activating the spine for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way up. All right, let's stretch, shall we? I'm going to take the legs out in front of us, pointing the toes. Take an inhale and sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, draping your belly over your thighs. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, flattening a little bit lower. Maybe even using a yoga strap if you have it, or a towel. Again, getting creative. Let's take a full breath in. And then with your exhale, folding deeper. Good. We're going to grab onto either the right foot, or maybe if it's more accessible, grabbing onto your calf. We're going to bring ourselves up, pointing the toes and flex, point and flex. Circle the ankle around in one direction and then the other way. Rocking the leg up and down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding it here, draw it a little closer, knee to nose, full inhale, full exhale. Good. And then bringing it in, bending the knee. Now, maybe you take the foot and the knee into your hands and cradle it like this, or maybe you bring it into the creases of your elbows and really dig into the ground to release any tension in the fascia. The fascia is like a net that protects the muscles, really digging down. And then take that right foot on the outside of that left outer thigh, hugging the knee into chest, wrap that left arm around, right arm props you up against your spine and rib cage with an inhale, and then exhale, twisting, looking over your right shoulder. Keeping that chin parallel to the ground, detoxing the internal organs and softening the belly. Take a full inhale, full exhale. Beautiful. Sweeping those arms back up, grabbing your foot a second time. Take an inhale to extend, noticing that increase in your extension, and then exhale, fold forward with your leg. Balancing it out with that left side. Let's point the toes and flex. Point and flex, circling the ankle around in one direction and then the other way. Good. Hold it here. Full inhale. Exhale, drawing it closer, sitting up tall. And then rock it up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, full inhale, full exhale. Bringing it in again, either into your hands or into your elbows, whatever feels more accessible for you, and digging into the ground, balancing it out on the left side, giving it an equal amount of care, of compassion and kindness. Really, really digging into the ground to release. And then taking that foot on the outside of that right outer thigh, wrapping that right arm around. Left arm props you up with an inhale. Exhale, twist. Again, softening the belly, softening the rib cage. Detoxing the internal organs. And then sweeping the arms all the way up and over. Drawing that leg up a second time with a full inhale. Exhale, folding down. Now, moving any props out of the way, we're going to bring our legs to the corners of the mat, opening up into our wide leg, forward seated fold. Walking your hands out in front of you, holding it here. Let's take 3 breaths, softening that space behind the knees, the inner thighs, and the belly. Good, and then walking the hands over to your right leg, full inhale, exhale, fold. And then slowly walking the hands as far as you can over to your left side. Full inhale, exhale, fold. Awesome job. Slowly bringing yourself all the way back up. Let's cross the legs facing the top of the mat. Take an inhale and sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, and then come down to your belly. We're going to come to our Sphinx pose, forearms down. Your elbows are in alignment with your chest so that you are not all the way down here. So slide those elbows in alignment with your chest, pressing into your forearms, maybe wiggling your hips to relax the belly, the pelvis, and the hips. And then breathing deeply into that belly. We're going to twist the spine, looking towards one foot and the other, decompressing here. Once more each side. Good. Take your left hand inwards and then press your right hip and your quad into the mat, reaching for that right foot. Using your breath to melt away any tension in that quad. We tend to hold a lot of tension, those of us who do any sort of running or jumping in any form of sports. And then slowly release. Bringing the right hand in, pressing that left hip and quad into the mat. Full inhale. Exhale, melting away that tension. 2 more. Last one. Good. Slowly release. Let's take the hands by the chest. Press up to an upward facing dog. And then exhale to your child's pose, bringing those arms out in front of you, lowering the head down to the mat. Full breath in, full breath out. 2 more. And then on your last one, coming forward, coming to the middle of your mat, let's take a big inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale your hands to heart center, sealing off your practice with gratitude. Thank your body for all the hard work that you have been putting in, and I will see you in the next video.